What is your go-to name for the dog in Origins? I thought the guy at GameStop was flirting with me. Turns out he was trying to identify me from my Dragon Age save file. This started because of a dog named Barkspawn. If you've played Dragon Age Origins, you already know exactly where this is going. For everyone else, there's a Mabari war dog in the game, and people get weirdly attached to naming him. Most players have a default name they always use. Mine was always Barkspawn because I was 17 when I first played it and thought I was the funniest person alive. Apparently somebody else in my city had the exact same habit. I found that out at a GameStop on a random Thursday night. I was 26, exhausted from work, and stopping by to buy a new controller because mine had started drifting so badly my character kept walking into walls like he was drunk. The cashier was this tall guy with dark hair and a ridiculous amount of enthusiasm for somebody working retail at 8 p.m. His name tag said Evan. While ringing me up, he noticed the Dragon Age keychain hanging from my bag and immediately pointed at it. No way, he said. Origins or Inquisition? Origins, I answered instantly because I have standards. He laughed. Okay, respect. Then he asked, what's your go-to Mabari name? Without even thinking, I replied, Barkspawn. This man physically froze, like full system reboot. Then he slowly put the controller down and stared at me. No, he said. I laughed nervously. No, there's absolutely no way. At this point, I genuinely thought I accidentally insulted him somehow. Then he leaned forward and asked, did you ever post on the old BioWare forums? Now it was my turn to freeze. Because yes, aggressively. Back in high school, I basically lived on those forums. Terrible opinions, cringe fan theories, arguments about Alistair romance roots, the whole experience. I narrowed my eyes. Maybe? This man pointed directly at me and said, you're Nightingale_47. I almost dropped my wallet because that was my username. A username I had not used in almost 10 years. I stared at him like he had just recited my social security number out loud. How do you know that? Evan looked equally shocked. You wrote a 12-paragraph rant in 2014 about why Barkspawn was the only morally correct Mabari name. Oh my god. You compared people naming him dog to naming your child human. Oh my god. He was laughing so hard at this point, he had to grab the counter for support. Meanwhile, I was internally leaving my body because suddenly I recognized him too. His old username was Wardenark. This man once got temporarily banned for starting a 5-page argument about whether blood magic should have been a romance option. I pointed at him immediately. You're the guy who wrote Dragon Age fanfiction where Morrigan opened a bakery. He looked genuinely offended. It was a coffee shop. I distinctly remember pastries. There were some pastries. We were both laughing so hard the guy behind me in line actually left. Apparently Evan had recognized my voice first because years ago I uploaded one single Dragon Age theory video to YouTube that somehow got weirdly popular in that community. The second I said Barkspawn, his brain connected everything immediately. Then he hit me with the most humiliating sentence of my adult life. I had the biggest crush on you in high school. I almost passed away beside the Nintendo Switch display because meanwhile 17-year-old me absolutely had a crush on Wardenark and specifically remembered arguing with him online because I thought he was funny. Neither of us knew what the other looked like back then. We just accidentally spent years yelling at each other on gaming forums. By the end of my purchase, he scribbled his number onto the receipt and said, in my defense, this is still probably the healthiest way two Dragon Age fans could meet. Honestly, fair. We've been dating for 8 months now. And yes, before anybody asks, we started another Origins replay together. He still names the dog Ven Harry, which is terrible, and I continue to judge him for it daily.